Uachtarán, Commandant Caroline Burke, on behalf of an Taoiseach, agus a Gwine Uaisle, Fáilte Rómh Galéir. A very, very warm welcome to all of you. We are gathered here, family and friends of Mhuiris Chonghail, to bid him farewell and to celebrate his life. I'd also like to welcome Mike Russell, Minister in the Scottish Government and good friend of Mhuiris's, as is An Uachtarán, and Mike is also here today. To introduce myself, my name is Siobhan Walls. I am a humanist celebrant accredited by the Humanist Association of Ireland, and I was asked by Mhuiris's family to assist with the funeral ceremony today. They felt this type of ceremony would best suit Mhuiris's worldview. It's what you would call an ethical life stance. Essentially, it's about living a good life, an ethical life, based on values found in people themselves. It's about compassion and reason, about taking responsibility and treating others with respect. And it is inclusive, so regardless of your worldview or philosophy, you are, of course, all very welcome here today. We are always united in our common humanity, and today we are united as a community with Mhuiris. And I'd like now to offer my sincere sympathy to Mhuiris's family. It is so important to take the opportunity to celebrate a life well lived. And so we gather here today to honour and to say goodbye to Mhuiris, and we will pay tribute to him with words and music and poetry, and we'll celebrate his well-lived life. He liked to see people achieving their potential. I heard about holidays to Greece, where he liked nothing better than to sit and chat with the locals, and the books and laptops that he'd brought with him would lie forgotten until the day before going home. And I heard about the man who John and Barry described as the man who came for Christmas one year and stayed. And Mhic and Marcus, they told me a bit about life growing up in a busy family home in Rathgar in Dublin, where Mhuiris and Moira had 5 children in very quick succession, all of them growing up with very different and unique views and relationships with their father. But I heard about a charming and a lovable dad who loved mischief and fun and laughter. I heard about a top-class and very professional communicator who struggled sometimes with personal communication. I heard about a distinguished writer and producer and documentary maker, among many other talents, with an enduring love of the Blasket Islands and an absolutely passionate love for the Irish language.
Seoldach a grán de Lia Fáil, beidir cúigna sé a bblianta ó hin is Irish litríocht an Chonghailge a chuireadh amach sna fichidí, sna trochadí, an críomhín Uachtarán, céad Uachtarán na hÉireann a bhí ina agathiúir, agus duine an ceithre imleabhar de Lia Fáil a chuir amach in éon bhuair leabhar bhain, agus bhí sa láthair ag an seolda agus an Uachtarán a dhéanann seolda, agus go namhras chuig dad chun chainte le mar a tharlaíonn ar bhúntar scaile dom chuid an máiste Chonghail. Is actually clean céad anam, máiste Chonghail a bhúntar ach agus bhíidir caintú slégach, mar bas slégach de bhúntar ráid gráinseach nacha mar a brellarm agus slégach agus túiscurt bhuió agus bhí sé héananig agus máiste Chonghail a caint faoin náisiún súlaí rúda le hard na rí agus na ring tú cinál socha a súil ar a dé nach dárlóid gar nach bhfuil an tharlú. Muinterí rúd is socha denna í halabú agus bhí súil a gcónaí ar ardnarí an maile dúchas mar defa an chuisleán a bhí cótha agus bhín córás idir Mhuiris agus an máiste Chonghail agus socha go gaiir daoine sin tuis go ran an náisiún a cheann súil rúda le ardnarí churas bublína le chéile agus so just derma héine agus níosí sin, you know? Súlaí rúda le hardnarí Cashir na tanta Ballis Kuran Gali, Gach Ribbefede Adu, Gach Dore Ruchte, Rail to rail le Kodu, Hashgri Plaunishni, Isning, Dede Dentafos, Isning. Derde dente fos is nien. Derde dente fos is nien. Derde dente fos.
Sule muir agus, sule tir, in mara frun the lingisha, the shola circle manning, ni leir in a spirit. Sní leir per there níl tach there an gala, náir chuan vín éidir. Is níl dere danta fós, is níl dere danta fós, is níl dere danta fós, is níl dere danta fós. Is níl dere denta fós, is níl dere denta fós, is níl dere denta fós, is níl dere ráite fós.
Nóair a tháinig Mhuiris mac an éileteach RT beléir go raibh fear tacha a raibh físeige, a raibh fuinneamh agus a raibh fuaidir faoi. Bhí ceann críanna ar a choilinn óg. D'fhág sé rian ar an eagraíocht ar a gcóras craolacháin agus ar discint a ról na craoltóireachta poiblí. In agaibh a dhéann sé le Catherine Foley gá bhíon dé go hen. Bhí sé féchan siar ar lá a cha sé féin John Horgan agus Donald Foley ar Cnoc Réanan ag tús na seachtódaí. San agaibh sin fuaireamar léargus ar an Mhuiris séamh suairc suaimhnach nach facas go poiblí mina go leor sílim. Ag déanamh chuir síos ar an gcórá a bhí ann an lá sin nuair a casadar an trúracha de hempist ar Maurice Hayes agus Seamus Heaney. Dúirt sé go raibh sé scópóil, lehan agantach, fadamach. Agus insan na focail sin, thóg sé cloch cuoine cuí ar a héal úntach ildánach féin. Mhuiris Mac O'Neill came into RTE television in 1964 as a member of a group of young people, very young people, who had a view of the future, of the role of the new medium, and of how they might reflect and shape the Ireland of their time. He burst upon the place in a way that was different. He came with energy, with enthusiasm, with not a little self-confidence, and with an understanding of the potential of television. Crucially, he understood the democratic need for television, the extent to which the media, and this new medium in particular, could and should be a central part of the citizens' knowledge of and engagement with every part of the life of the community. In his appreciation of the value and importance of investigative journalism, he was far ahead of his time. He was also ahead of his time in becoming editor of 7 Days, the main current affairs programme, at the age of 26 or 27. This in an organisation not long removed from the civil service, but one which was prepared to give real responsibility to young people in a way that might not happen so easily now. I was myself the beneficiary of that approach some few years later. But the state was not so ready for this new dispensation, and broadcasting was struggling to escape from the doctrine that it was an instrument of public policy as opposed to being an instrument of public good. The shameful episode of the Money Lending Tribunal, which saw the government set up an inquiry into the authenticity of a 7 Days programme whose truth was undeniable, was a striking example of the challenges facing broadcasting organisation and programme maker alike. Mhuiris was one of those who bore the consequences of that episode, but not by any means the worst consequences. For him, it was the beginning of a series of moves to radio as head of features and current affairs, to being head of the Government Information Service, to being assistant to the Director General, to Radio na Gaeltachta as Ceanara, and back to television, initially as assistant controller and later as controller of programmes. In each of these moves, being greeted by an uncertain initial reception, but building experience and reputation at each stage. Sustaining him through those complex and sometimes difficult days were Moira and their 5 children, Fiach, Soirle, Cuan, 18 and Marcus, and the comfortable and comforting security of their wonderful home in Rathgar, surrounded by family, by books and by art. Mhuiris and his brother Ciarán shared a rich cultural inheritance from both their parents, and they expressed that in their distinctive ways. Mhuiris' love of books, of literature, of art, which animated his whole life, started early. Among other things, it found eloquent expression in his wonderful film on the painter Tony O'Malley. His broadcasting focus was not, of course, exclusively an Irish one. He played a very active part in the establishment of the Celtic Film and Television Association, an endeavour with long-lasting impact in the Celtic countries, not least our own, and in which he joined Michael Russell, now a senior member of the Scottish Government, who is here with his wife Kathleen, as active, influential and decisive collaborators. He loved his engagement with the EBU, the European Broadcasting Union. I remember our being together at a meeting in Geneva, getting out of the taxi as we made to pay our fare. The taxi driver said, "Were you speaking Irish?" "How did you know?" We said. "I was a fisherman," he said, "and I used to come to Galway and Connemara." At lunch that day, we sat at a table where the conversation shifted easily to and fro between an 8-part English collective and 4 separate conversations in Serbo-Croat, German, Dutch and Irish, respectively. Mhuiris loved, rejoiced in those experiences, those revelatory moments of shared cultural richness. The photographs of recent days, reflecting perhaps the solemnity of the moment, present a serious, unsmiling young Mhuiris. But there was a great deal more to him than that. He had an enormous warmth and a great sense of humour. He loved to recount stories, to recapture moments that engaged him. He was a most extraordinarily generous encourager of talent. He was excited by talent. When he turned to teaching at 3rd level, when he returned to teaching at 3rd level, he deeply respected his students. He wanted them to have the best. Formidably articulate. It often seemed that his grammar had only one mood, the imperative. He wanted to get things done and be influential in moving the conversation or debate in the right direction, which often meant moving it in the left direction. He encouraged others to share and exhibit his own frequent disregard for systems and institutional practices, something not entirely without risk. And he was not afraid of risk. Hashe an fód nuair bagá. He took strong stances when he believed that necessary, and he was prepared to pay the price. He included in that a sense of their sitting at the top of Cnochreanan, reflecting on the meaning of life, on their ambitions and aspirations as young men. He was not afraid of intimacy in conversation, and he shared his feelings in a way that few men do. Mhuiris found new love and new happiness with Mary, and lived in great marital contentment with her and her 2 sons, John and Barry. And he took evident and shared delight in the journeys of all these 7 young people on their chosen pathways through life. He seemed always to be setting himself the next challenge, finding the next bridge to cross. It explains why sometimes a work conversation with Mhuiris could be 2 parts delight and exhilaration and 1 part frustration, that reflected his unbounded intellectual curiosity. I spoke earlier about the enduring contribution he made to establishing current affairs as an essential, central part of the democratic role of a public service broadcaster. side by side with his many other broadcasting successes. The other towering achievement for me was his engagement with the Blasket Islands. His immense love for and deep interest in the Kerry Gaeltacht and its people ignited an inextinguishable interest in the creative magic of the Blaskets and their people. That found expression in the wondrous Ilan Ella. Those who loved Mhuiris and were closest to him will feel his loss the greatest. But all of us who ever knew him will feel a void and be forever touched by his influence. Níbeag's son.
Slum gone red, Shemalem gone nochten tus, Leshon wachelin sperul, Avregoch meshal Kegur chwer turam jelev Avila graban milatsamarun Ach ket fariar Leefje gallegir mestu Tanna gardin shanasach Avila graban stam Michel amhein Tanna pause fasan is brachtje da wakuturiav Nichlin ha kelklarshi galan trachan kelbin Maqrabwem kulaling kushlanil Skeam favile graban edusan tauran nachtukar quartz En was since neglantan nu edilan en ulian an chuach Bakuire guskauna ni hentan hen latiad marsperei Ach, my Frida Jansa, Skat Kora, go it on the way. Slán Mhuiris, tá Sulam, will Christian, Mór, Gaelach, a Munshin, Nartikins, agus na Drí agus na Ceiliúrtha a Fanacht, lehu a Hodalo. Gurmahagi.
Gurmahagat Breed.
As I say, I shall begin with subtitling. Mhuiris, like myself and many of us here, lived simultaneously in two linguistic and cultural worlds. If a language be a logic, then every day of our lives is lived, thought processed and interpreted in two separate logics. One of the logics or languages is a motley one and belongs to the big wide world of English, where all terms, catchwords, vogue words and cliches are coming at you, streaming at you from all directions, sources and limitless media all of the time. The second logic, Gaeilge, is a rarer, limited and largely unsupported by media logic. Vogue words and catchphrases are largely based on past and historic instances. It is a small do-it-yourself world. It's an underground world in cities and in organizations throughout this land. It is exactly like the mythical world of the Tuatha Dé Danann. The Tuatha Dé Danann, after their defeat, they were defeated by the Milesians at the Battle of Tailtu, lost their rights to dwell above ground in this land and were led by Manannán Mac Lid to dwell underground in the Shebugs and the Shemoors and the Lissana, where they still live. Our Tuatha Dé Danann world is a small world, as I said. So small that we can easily identify nearly all the membership of the Tuatha. At events and at meetings in the upper world, in the midst of masses and hordes, Tuatha members can communicate with one another in words and phrases of the Tuatha language. Phrases that can mean nothing to the upper world dwellers, but can mean volumes to the members of the Tuatha Dé Danann. Mhuiris was a fluent speaker of the Dé Danann language. At meetings in RTE and elsewhere, he would say words and phrases at one, like, "Oh, huig," which meant we were doing well. Words like "chut an rálach," which translates as Walter Raleigh coming your way, a phrase used in West Kerry to frighten children, dating to the massacre of Dúnmharuithe in 1580, where 600 people were beheaded by forces led by Walter Raleigh. When it was evident at the meeting that his or our case was being lost, he would say, "Goodbye, Plúr." This very word that the very Ballyferreter merchant used during the War of Independence, when roads were trenched and bridges blown up, and he had to hire a fishing boat to haul his cargo of flour from Dingle. After waiting 3 days for the sailing that should take part of a day, he found that the fishing boat with the flour was moored at the pier in the Great Blasket Island. The islanders were never reputed to be in a hurry to pay for goods delivered. Goodbye, Plúr. Most of the Tuatha Dé Danann world has been subtitled. She's linn festa fá hedalinis agus cén Mhuiris a háile fáile gnáil. Na focail háimse le Mhuiris ná iad seo. Fosc, dígras, fissaracht, slachtwide, salt, muinachas agus dílseacht. Fiúas gan ach mon crinethe bhfuil seisteach le flosc agus le fuineh. Bhíh feirt in aig agus ina thuúile agus bheachas agat go raibh obair agus cúram dhéantaige a ggóir a crinethe se. Hanna ribh ré. Bheach éon téics leis slachtar le éach bheach gránan chomáile se slachtaire agus an náiríide. Bhígach éon agach nó fesa éon scéal nó téma é. Bhreáris álagar agus díspóireacht í anna fí. Álagar a bheith go minic go cruaig cealagánta agus dá cealagántí an aragóint a beabhar a haine sí leis. Bhí chun ránúd as a bhéalaige a dead, buige le buige go mrathir do dhuine, má dheanan se chuút garric se chuige. Tá scoilteach sé ribbe scoltan a chuine. Ná feice, ná cloise, is má féidir díd, aber ná feidirís. Má thug sé cúram le déanamh dit, thug sé hain cangart agus dan sé cangart leis gúram. Ba hím leis mar bhí gairí leat nó bhálart, agus níor bhleasc leis cabhra thuairt dit nó lorach de hon. Ní rák sé riamh uigeannach I éonarta leis gúram. Ba charaga gachnaíon dá leag sé cúram nó ire, agus níor chríochnaigh charadas cúigechlad tróna, náir níine, ná lá siad buink nó éon lá súhainseach eile. Bhain persanta bhí sé héana agus a heilech fad gedain hí 4 dhílis de hir. Chos nófaí tá, fiú agus fisa go tain chomáileách nach gut a bhí an ceart. Nuair a cháin faoi cara os a chuine, sin freagar a bheith uig go siimplí díirech agus go dílis is cara lumai. Bhí gotí as leabhar litríochta agus as aglah le daoine agus as chláracha a crealach de hir dá natheiris agus dá natheiris aige. Siar a dús a seachta d bhíoch ar ggóintíidir me héanagus a hain fe farsantocht más crihin údar blascaidach an Ilánig. Bé me huirim gur fearóháir íirih Milánach uairimta, gur fear gan grána, níor vinní tuairim Mhuiris. Fear breall landas bródar bethe I deirech sé. Hálaigh go chuiris a agalmh le creaile cheann ó créin, macamáis, agus chugas nó chuiris me huirim I lethe ahar chuige. Sin freagar a fuiris go díirech ó cheann ná seo, cé hé a dúirt sé, fear silt a bheith Freagra a hennig go mór le Mhuiris, agus riamhan é sin éonhuiir a bhlaigh sé, gleich fón bhile deirech sé déireann, hello, chluisin, chun stán fear silt. Bé an blúd ba chu téanta a bhí ar a bhéal ná gite as a leabhar an tilánach leis gréannach. Chur an Tomás crithinn síos ruair gur thugadidir íasc leasathe nó sílte go char sé rion le díal, mar go choladar gur fearr an luach a gheobh faoi ann. Ceann íocha tíos gotha agus thug a ceanna thóir go dtí an dárníad, mar ar oldar cúpla deach. Chudar féin sráide meile mór an san le airí beag a chinneach le tuairte bhaile. I cúna sráide bhfuil trúr ban bhreáile. Bhí fearr léar chuine do sa blastéadaigh agus níor puin béarla aige. Chuir an bhean bhreatha ára, bean fiún rua a bhí sé truthe íirde dúirt sé, chuir sí ceist an las gléadach lia. Come along, Blashket man, won't you have a drink with me? Dragar a fearr lia, I won't not now. Rug sí bheistir agus strach sí agus riamhan a ggéis sin bhí an abertin Mhuiris, I won't not now. Na cuoine is gléine gom héine Mhuiris, ná sin is tuisgurt, scanánaíocht Ián eile. Sin is stig sa bhúcháin a táin mar a chonig na dtíine dearnach a bhí an, agus seanfad stam ó cearna an ainachlín. Cuoine méir inis cé thuaig I measc na bhótharach, agus a chur saoní a dráig álann sin a bhód dubh far a sunnaí mac iireachtaí. Cuoine méir agus a hástacht a gúne a bheochnaigh far a Willie Lee agus Nicolás Rochelle. Náid a chrúidir far a Pound agus Féilí agus Seán Cheist. Náid a chéin in leanna bháma a caint le lochna ganach. Bníad a bháracha dríochta mar a rascalaícha intin agus a clú ceart. Is cín le mé a huinas in Garville Avenue agus Martin O'Diráin go cúlach ina achir, iad a plé cuasaí níorthid agus árainn. Le versa leis an Iránach I ddíchad nó chuir a deire le ara cínte Má dead let de cháde gur siad an lé trí áil, an siad a chluisiir do gnáil bhóthar bhail an chláir nó láimh le rathún a gnáilh, ná géal festa dá ráite. Sí ar nóige I go cinnte I géamh fuid na háid. Minic I gíl siar am hain, bhfuil doras mo chuine, is díreach go díandíh anís ce bhí ann. A chraibh cás is cianme, is chud is bhuaim siari, go bóthar bhail an chláir, is go rathún na glár. Goodbye plúr denim, Mhuiris ce hain, fear silt a bai. De letuid, Searmanas.
The given note by Seamus Heaney. On the most westerly blasket, in a dry stone hut, he got this air out of the night. Strange noises were heard by others who followed, bits of a tune, coming in on loud weather, though nothing like melody. He blamed their fingers and ear as unpracticed, their fiddling easy, for he had gone alone into the island and brought back the whole thing. The house throbbed like his full violin. So whether he calls it spirit music or not, I don't care. He took it out of wind off mid-Atlantic. Still he maintains from nowhere. It comes off the bow gravely, rephrases itself into the air.
Died 25th of November 2019. May he rest in peace. Can I ask you all now to please stand for prayer?